Although Word Online has a lot of great features, it doesn't have all the features of the Word application on your desktop. And just a reminder, you can always see up here in the top left that you are on Word Online. You're just simply in a browser, which means all of this really has to be done through HTML and other online code. So it's not going to be as robust, but you can see there's quite a few things here. I have a table right here, and I have table tools, and I have design, and I have layout features. I can double click down here, and I can see I've got my home tab with almost all of those features. Insert doesn't have as many features. Page layout doesn't have as many. Review has most of the important ones, and the View tab has most of those features, but not all of them. So we do have a button here at the very top in the middle called Edit in Word. So it takes us to the full-blown Word application on our computer. So let's just click this and see what we get. We're opening this in Microsoft Word, ... And we just have to be patient here a bit. So at any time, for instance, I could click Resume Editing here. It means, take me back to the Word Online document. Also here it says try launching Word again. If anything goes wrong, you can click this again. And sometimes you do have to be a little patient for this to come up. And here it is, finally. We have the actual Word application. And it took me right to where I was. All the same text is here and everything. It's all there. And let's take a look at what else we can notice. So do you see the little red cursor right here? If I put my cursor over it, it says Merit Medical. So that's the other person who's editing this document right now. And if we look in the top right corner, we can see a little MT. That's the initial for Merit Trainer, the other user. And he has this much smaller icon, so it's not as large. And right next to that, we also still have the chat capability. So that's there as well. Also, if you look all the way off to the left, we can see that the feature called Autosave is currently on. Autosave basically means this document actually lives online. So it's out of your OneDrive folder, whether that's just online or whether that's the OneDrive folder on your computer, and it's synced to your online. Nevertheless, its source is from the cloud. So because of that, autosave feature is now automatically active. And that's really handy. Basically, that means every time I type something, typing right there, that's automatically saved. I don't have to click a save button to make sure that gets saved. Every single letter I type is just being saved. Now we could turn that feature off, and then I would have to save every time I want to save. If I closed out of this document and didn't save, it would be lost. But you do have autosave option. Well, at the same time, you also do have a save button. So this saves the document and refreshes it with updates made by other authors. And that can be useful now and then. I think the most useful way to use the save button is to create another version. So every time you click save, it keeps the same name. It's not save as, but it does create another version of the document. So if I click save right now, and then I make some more changes over here, and then I click save again, I have two versions, but they have the same name. They're both called Table 1. But now I'm going to come all the way over here to the top right, hovering my mouse here over something called Version History. I'm going to click on it. And it's going to give me the history of when some major changes were made. So here you can see Merit Trainer actually opened up the document. And then here you can see the last time I saved it, which was just 1 minute ago. So you can go back in time on these other versions. And you can see right here where it says open version, open version. So now just to finish off this little section about sharing and co-authoring, let's go back to the online version just to show you what that's like. If we come back down, you'll see I still have this web page active. If I click on that, it takes me back to where we were. This page is still active. It's been waiting for us because we switched to the Word version. Word Online is still waiting, and it says, for instance, resume editing here. The very last changes I made are waiting for me right here. So we can see everything really does stay in sync really quite well. Lastly, let's take a look at a few more ways that we can share any of our documents. We see here in the very top right corner, we do have a share button. This is not the online version. This, of course, is just the PC version, your desktop version. And there is a share button right here. If I click it, I do get the share dialog box that we've seen several times before. So we won't go over this again, but there it is. You can share it. You can choose the email address you want, and you can just hit send, get a link, or open up Outlook. So there that is. And now I just want to open up my File Explorer, go to my OneDrive. I'm going to just make sure I'm in my OneDrive. And I can see that all of my documents here have the option of just simply right-clicking them and choosing View Online. That'll open up the online version of that document. And I can also share right from here. And that's right here. It's the most prominent of the buttons because it has the bright blue cloud icon right next to it. And if I click share there, I get that same dialog box. So we have lots of ways to start this sharing process, either from the OneDrive folder, from online, or just from your PC apps. And we have all of that because we installed OneDrive.